Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. We are here today to talk Street Fighter 6 and our next upcoming DLC character, Mai Shiranui. So Mai is part of a 2-pack with Terry Bogard. We have our two SNK guest characters in Street Fighter 6. And Terry has now been out for over a month and change, and he made a debut to incredible positive reception. Maybe he didn't rewrite the tier list or anything like that, but people like Terry. And now, sometime very early next year, it'll be Mai's turn. Now, in the past, when they both got announced for Street Fighter 6, I did make some videos saying how they might play, right? And I might have gotten some things right, but I was also very off base in just how deep into the well they're willing to go. Not only did they manage to get the plane aspect of Fatal Fury in the game, right? More than one plane of action. They did that, and they gave him Fire Kick of all things. Of all the moves I would never expect Terry to get in this translation of Street Fighter 6, they gave him Fire Kick, right? So my expectations for what Mai can be are now drastically different, considering how far they went with Terry. So basically, let's take another look at Mai. What can we expect out of her? What is her game plan going to be? Which moves is she going to have? So now, just on a base level, what can you expect from Mai as a character, right? Well, she's a ninja, and therefore does appropriately ninja things like wall jumps and all that. She has that. So yeah, expect that usual stuff. Also, in purely Street Fighter terms, expect her to be a big normals character. Mai has always had the range, and expect big buttons. Now, what exact form these will take, well, remain to be seen, right? This is Light Kick in KOF 14 and 15. I don't think that'll be Stand Light Kick given the range in Street Fighter, right? But that stuff like a CD, maybe things won't be one-to-one translations, but expect her to basically have the range and have it in spades. Probably most directly analogous, and fairly enough because they're rivals, right? But most directly analogous to Chun-Li. High walk speed, big buttons. Mai, in the majority of her appearances in the majority of games she's been in over the decades, is a very fundamentally sound character. Big button, toss fan, is a basic projectile zoning tool, right? Kind of go from there. Now, as far as just the general moveset goes, what are the things that are basically almost guaranteed to be here, right? Well, one, let's go projectile. We have Kachosen, the fan toss, comes in a couple speeds, and generally, this is mostly gonna be a lock, right? The basic projectile, sure. The one thing you can argue is what form is it gonna take? Because in the context of KOF and all that kind of stuff, she has the kind of fireball she can follow up on, and in Street Fighter terms, like Chun-Li, like Guile, that usually means it's a charge, but for here, it's a motion, right? So they might make it just a bit more generic of a projectile. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But rest assured, basic projectile, very much going to be a thing. Next up, the move we call Ryuenbu. So she takes the tail, if you will, of her outfit, and this slashes it across and creates a giant flame effect. This is another just core aspect part of the character. When it comes to things like basic combo structure, you're going to see this a lot. Basic hit confirms, all roads lead to Ryuenbu. Usually, the heavy versions knock down, the lighter versions are more of a quick poke, and you can use it as a quote-unquote button in neutral in and of itself, depending on the game. I expect kind of much the same in Street Fighter. The move also has anti-projectile properties, so it can just clear out projectiles as well, right on top of its regular projectile toss. So it's a multifaceted move. It's a core part of the move set. Now, another super core move you can expect Mai to have in Street Fighter 6 is the Hisatsu Shinobi Bachi, otherwise known as the Deadly Ninja Bees. I'm assuming because she hits you with the elbow, and the elbow is like a stinger. Mai's a very silly character, right? But yeah, so this is another big thing. She basically will always just do a little bit of a cartwheel and then run forward with a gigantic elbow. In terms of moveset, this is either a desperation neutral skip, right? You run forward and you do it. It's no burn knuckle, I'll tell you that right now. But when there's a will, there's a way, right? Or it's generally one of your more heavy button combo moves, whereas Ryuenbu is more off of lights. Ninja Bees is more off of heavies. It usually has additional hits if done up close. Far away, you only get the elbow. Up close, you'll get additional hits as she's doing the cartwheel. And also, this is one of her main super moves as well. kind of same deal. She'll just do the same thing, but be on fire, get more hits, do more damage, right? It's important as part of her combo structure and just as a general tool for the character. And the final super core move that's assuredly to make it in Street Fighter 6 is the Musasabi no Mai, the flying squirrel attack. So analogous Street Fighter, this would be closest to the Condor Dive, which T-Hawk and Lily use, except it's way better, way better. It can be multi-hitting. Depending on how you space it, it can be safe to plus on block. And also you can do it while jumping backwards, and that's a core thing in the game, right? And jumping backwards, moves like this in Street Fighter is a big no-no, right? So while assuredly in some way, some form, somehow, it will make it into the Street Fighter 6 version of the character, there's something about this move that has to give, unless they want to give her like low Akuma health or something like that, at which point, hey, maybe, right? But other than her being a low health character like Akuma, this is one of those moves where it's just a hard difference between like SNK games and Capcom games where certain things are allowed. And generally, while this is perfectly fine in SNK games, it's a bit much for Capcom games. Regardless, however, whatever form it may take, it will certainly be in the moveset, as this is one of the most important aspects of the character. Now, what about the maybes? There's a lot of moves that Mai's had over the years where like has a couple of appearances, then sort of goes away. So what are some of these? Sometimes she tosses hell of fans, not just like a fan, but like all the fans, right? And normally I would say this would never make it in Street Fighter 6, but Terry got a lot of weird things that broke the rules of Street Fighter, so hey, who knows? Like, just like any Fatal Fury character in the actual Fatal Fury games, Mai can use the lane system too, right? They gave Terry a lane move, so maybe Mai's lane move can be the flying lane ass attack, because that's her move. She can like jump, switch lanes, and then attack you with her butt and kill you. So, will this be a fatality like it can be in Fatal Fury? Probably not, but once again, who knows? Her classic fan slicer, she has this every now and then, depending on the game, right? Could be a move, could be a command normal, but given that they went so in depth with Terry, I think it'll appear some way, somehow. We have moves like Kagero no Mai, basically the gigantic flame pillar. Comes in a lot of different forms. Sometimes it's a regular move, sometimes it's a super move. Well, sometimes it's just never there, right? It really depends game to game. It makes the odd appearance, and the form it takes is always quite different. But this is another move, just ninja doing flame magic, sure. Could be like, say, her level 1 super, and maybe level 2 supers like ninja bees. Level 3 super, probably something with a hell of a lot of fire and a big old pose at the end, as that is very much the Shiranui way. Well, have to wait and see, I guess, but it's an idea, it's a thought. We can certainly expect something to change air mobility besides Musasabi no Mai. Mai's had a lot of different command normals from jumps over the years that kind of change her arc of attack. So what looks like it'll be a regular angle can instead just become like a cross up, or maybe just flying with her ass all the way. Like, she's got a lot of butt attacks. That's kind of the Shiranui deal, right? Say before Terry, Fan Dance? Absolutely not. I would say there would be no chance for Fan Dance to make it in. It's a rare move to begin with, right? And now, you know, Terry got Fire Kick of all things, right? So anything's possible. Another thing I thought there's no way she could possibly have is an invincible reversal. It's not that she's never had them, that she's had them before, right? Over the years. Well, here's the thing. Only like the most handful of times. Mai's got a billion appearances over 30 years of fighting games, right? And like on one hand, I can count you the games she's had where she actually had like an invincible reversal. And it's not Terry that's bucking this trend. It's Mai herself. Because in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, the upcoming new Fatal Fury game, they actually gave Mai an invincible reversal again after like 20 years since she's had the last one, right? So Mai having something as an invincible reversal, be it either through Fan Twirl or Dragon Blast, that's what this move is, I guess it's a possibility. Like, one of the things I thought going into Street Fighter 6 is Mai would certainly be one of the characters that basically, you know, has no defense. You can use supers as invincible reversals, or like a drive reversal, like anything universal, but no like EX Shoryuken style move. Now, like, I still don't think maybe it's likely, but there's a chance. Mai's got so many moves over the years, right? There's a really deep well you can pour into here. Now, to talk one aspect of Mai that has definitely caused a good amount of concern I've seen about Mai, just in like even my own comment section, let alone the rest of the internet, right? Mai technically is a charge character. Like on the most base brass tacks version of it, she's a charge character because she has charge moves. Having charge moves is what makes you a charge character, right? Now, the charge is basically wall dive. It's technically part of the Musasabi no Mai move, right? You can do the attack part of it by itself, or you can do it off the wall dive. And it's charge down, up, you know, as you would expect, right? It's like Vega's wall dive. In fact, in the original Fatal Fury, well, Fatal Fury 2, actually, because Mai was not in the original Fatal Fury, this was very much a Vega wall dive move. Because not only was it a charge move, but you also could only do it on her stage. Like Vega could only do wall climb on his stage, right? So eventually it got, you know, changed that you can just do it anywhere, whatever. And I guess that's part 1 of 2 of this whole thing of will Mai be a charge character? Because 1, how faithful are they to Fatal Fury versus King of Fighters, right? Mai is obviously in both franchises. To me, I think Mai's more important as a King of Fighters character than a Fatal Fury character. She is not in the original Fatal Fury. She is not in Mark of the Wolves. She's missed games, unlike Terry. Terry has Fatal Fury on his hat, right? Mai, well, Mai's Mai. She does not necessarily do all the same things Terry does, right? And I just associate her more with KOF in general than Fatal Fury if I had to pick one or the other. And in Fatal Fury, she only has wall dive in Fatal Fury 2 and in no other games. So therefore, if they're going more Fatal Fury on it, then she just wouldn't have wall dive. She would not be a charge character. End of story. So now part 2, say we do have wall dive, right? And it's as applicable and it can do all the funny things like hit on the way up with the EX version like you can do in KOF 15 and all that, right? Okay, so we got that. There is no Street Fighter 6 character that only has like a charge move, right? Due to modern controls and how modern controls works, you can only have a down to up charge move and a back to forward charge move because otherwise you break modern controls. Mai has a down to up charge move with wall dive, and in fact she has multiple charge moves as we'll cover in a second here, but no one is just back to forward. Like she's not a Sonic, like, well actually Phantos is somewhat similar to Sonic Boom in a lot of ways, but it's not a Sonic Boom motion, it's just a motion, right? It's kind of the point, do you just give Mai only one charge for the wall dive and that's it? Or do you make wall dive a motion like you did for Vega in Street Fighter 5? Or do you just forget it because it wasn't in Fatal Fury Mai's moveset? It's all over KOF Mai's moveset, but not Fatal Fury, right? It's a weird thing. Because here's the thing, as a charge character, she's had other charge moves. For other charge moves, we talked about Kagero no Mai before, right? So Kagero no Mai actually is a charge move in a lot of its appearances. Like Fatal Fury Real Bout Special, also EX Mai in King of Fighters 98, Mai in Capcom versus SNK 2, and it's also an invisible reversal there, right? So it's another very valid form of having another charge move, but when it is a charge move, it's another down to up charge move, right? And it'd be weird if that was like her reversal. Like if it's not a flash kick, it'd be like a back, I don't know. It's just weird, right? She's not a charge character in the truest sense, but she does have charge moves. And given that Street Fighter 6 is really weird about charge in general, thanks to modern controls, it's just a big question mark. So yeah, that's a lot of things about Mai, right? Now that we've covered a lot of this video, hopefully this is something you can expect. They went crazy with Terry, even if Terry wasn't like super powerful tier-wise, whatever. They're super faithful, and they basically put in as much as they possibly could. And I expect now that Terry's launch, much the same for Mai. The one thing I wonder about Mai, I don't actually think it's going to happen. I just want to posit this as a potential. I think it'd be really fun if Mai was the next low health character besides Akuma. Because Mai, as it stands, is a bit too strong for Street Fighter. If you just took her as is, Mai is stronger than what the average Street Fighter character allows in general, right? And if you made her a low health character, then all of a sudden, then as it stands, her projectile, if it's a motion, but you know, it's like a Sonic Boom or Kikoken without the need to charge, if she's low health, that gets more excusable. It's not like for the whole lifespan of Street Fighter 6, Akuma's going to be the only low health character ever, right? That's boring game design, really. He's the only one forever, and then it'll just be an excuse to keep him top tier forever. Well, right, and we don't need that either. So yeah, you can do a lot of things, like, because Mai, some of the big buttons are extra big, like her stand CD in 14 and 15, right? That's special cancelable. Having a normal that big being special cancelable wouldn't be okay in Street Fighter 6 normally, but maybe it is if you give him low health. EX Fan Toss. Considering it bounces up, right? So there's more pressure beyond just the actual move itself, right? So I can go like string, fan toss, and then it's still my turn because you have to worry about the fan falling your head like it's Angie's Butterfly in Guilty Gear. As it stands, I don't believe they would do it like that. In Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, the upcoming game, Mai's EX fan toss is just 2 fireballs. They went boring with it, right? So it's not fun like EX Fireball in 14 and 15 KOF. But they could make it fun if she had low health. You know, gigantic normals, lots of the weird stuff she has, jump backwards, Musasabi no Mai's. These are things you could do if you just allow her to have low health and just go all in on the gimmick, right? So, I don't know. It's just something I paused for. I don't actually expect it to happen, but it would be neat. I would like to see what the next low health character looks like in Street Fighter 6, just because I'm sure they're going to be broken like Akuma is. And I like Mai, so I'm okay with a broken Mai, just to be honest with you. So that's just some thoughts. I'm actually really excited. I'm very famously excited for Terry. I'm even more excited for Mai. I play Mai in a lot of King of Fighters. I play Mai in CVS2, right? Mai is a character I've been down with for many years. And just to see how she might just turn out in Street Fighter 6, especially now that we've seen Terry and how well Terry has turned out, just color me excited. That's really all I gotta say. So that's some of my thoughts. I would love to hear some of your thoughts as well. What do you think Mai's gonna turn out like in Street Fighter 6? There's a lot of ways we can go, right? So I guess we gotta wait and see. We'll probably get a trailer sometime in December. She'll hopefully launch in January. I don't want to wait till February. We'll see, I guess. And that all said, my friends, that is indeed the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And go out and play some Street Fighter.
Love